Yeah, very heavily leaning towards the B site. All five, no lurker, no presence elsewhere. Indicates that they've got to get a bit of a wiggle on before 9Z get exploratory, and that's exactly what they'll do. Flashes come over, Lucan only takes the one with the jewelies, and that is just a little bit sloppy from Max, playing through the short smoke, unaware of the Glocks charge in his way. And a man advantage will go to the T side as they have the bomb beep in, and major leverage here in the pistol round.
As the T's right now, you just don't want to be the first player to die. Give the opportunity. Tornay responds. Headshot opportunity missed, and the chance to get the equalizer will go down along with the round. ODDIK, first round on the board. Weapons come out from 9Z, though. Only a single player having to be a bit more sacrificial. Max on the MP9. Look at the speed, though. The steed of speed. The Mac-10 takes charge, and Tornay adds one more to the tally. That is 3 players remaining. Quickly brought down to just 2. Forget what I said about outgunning them. They're winning all the duels. But Lucan wants to make sure that they can't just keep their foot on the gas, gets a casualty going, and starts to back off. This must be a save.
Very, very commanding stuff. And yeah, blink and you miss it. Nate was already on the A bomb site within about 15 seconds of the round starting. It's as quick as you can go from one side of the map to the other. These SMGs will be able to upgrade into the CT premium rifles as WODDIK adds 2 to his tally, racks up a little bit of cash, and yeah, there you go. Not quite the right one. On a very slow start to this game. In fact, 2 of them 0-3. Paladin asked me a question about Adam S. I wasn't able to answer it. Ooh. Is this going to get messy? I don't think so. There you go. Tidied up. Yeah, I wasn't able to answer it, but it was sort of something that was also on my mind as well regarding Adam S being imported over from Europe as this big talent that would elevate this roster to new heights, and he really hasn't been that. Now, specifically in this tournament, he's actually played really well. But yeah, as a whole, throughout the last sort of 6 months with this team, it hasn't really been on the level that I think they were hoping for. Lucan does at least take one back, so an opportunity to save an AK here. It's better than nothing. They'll be on a buy in the next anyway, but a little bit of extra firepower I'm sure they'll be quite happy with. Also with the Kevlar, it gives an opportunity for him to drop an AWP over, so options. Nonetheless, an exceptional start here for ODDIK.
And I want to see if 9Z can do something a little bit different. Now, you've got to remember that there is now one more variable in play. That is the AWP from Martinez. Can he make that work? Is that going to change anything? Lucan wanting to take this bull by the horns. Kill found. It's going to be Adam S to get it, actually.
Looking a little bit better here for the CTs. Round number 5. ODDIK with their work cut out for them to claw this back, but they've got the bomb, they've got the pieces. The rifles behind them, flashbang into cave. Nate's going to try and find a little bit of room as Martinez has been mollied back. He takes a tick of damage from that fire. They should know he's close, but Pank doesn't react. Nate on the angle, sloppy stuff. Max as well, struggling. But Adam S will come in to save the day. Martinez will finish with the AWP. And
it's kind of weird to say that after we see a 4-0 start, but 9Z, hopefully they can start coming into their winning ways. 90, oh, that's a little bit rough. And that's where ODDIK is going. The lack of info on middle does mean that they still have to stick to their guns over towards A. Utility coming through, starts to telegraph the info.
When 90 started cutting down mid with the Mac-10, I'm thinking, oh god, not again. But this round, following a very different blueprint. Ones that lead to trades on the B site, and a bit of friction being put up by 9Z. WODDIK, great awareness, catches off the mid pincer.
No way!
Pacelock's gonna line him up, but he can't take both. On a 1-for-1 duel between the 2 snipers, left to try and dictate this one. I don't think Martinez realizes that the bomb's dropped. No, I don't think he does. But he is still going to wrap around. This is a much better position for him. There's surely no way WODDIK expects this.
This is the right play to make regardless of whether or not he expects the bomb to be there, to go for the full wraparound. Now, WODDIK, quick plant, but he has infinite angles to work with, and he's got an AWP, so he does kind of get locked into an angle if he decides to hard scope it. But I do appreciate this little operation from Woody. Goes forward, yeah. Finds info deep into CT. He's narrowed down the angles to just a couple of them now. Just have to worry about ramp and cave, and he's going to be able to find Martinez. So
a 9Z. Left with absolutely nothing against a Royal Flush. Max gets aggressive, doubles down with the MP9, frustrated.
The last round was also a bit of a recovery from a deficit. Two-man setup into cave is going to be super hard to deal with. And Lucan finds a really good timing to decide to peek forward. Doesn't allow the 2 1v1s. Max good on the shooting. And Woody, the man we were having many conversations about towards the pregame, left alone. The captain of the ship, wanting to recede into passivity with the AWP, needs to take this weapon into the next round. And the rounds have been chaotic enough that the money's not going to be all hunky-dory. Couple players having to be the sacrificial lambs as they pick up Galils instead of AK-47s to prioritize the utility. It's going to be something a lot faster. Here it comes, right into ramp. Couple kills from Max, though, makes it possible. One is being a problem as well, though. Martinez goes for a double dip. It finds one, but Torne is trying to desperately get this back. Adam S finds Woody, 1v2. Torne chips it down to just one. And now has to try and get it done. Has control of the bomb, minimizing the number of angles he has to worry about. But Adam S is rotating in from CT. Is Torne going to be ready for it? Going right into cave after having mollied it just a few seconds prior.
I think Torne's playing this pretty perfectly. Max was able to give such a huge lifeline to 9Z earlier on in the round. Now, Adam S needs to be the cherry on top. 78 points of health. He's got a kit. He's got a bit of util, but he doesn't want to deploy it. Doesn't want to blow his cover. Now throws the smoke, but the bomb's planted front side.
No way!
Adam S returns the favor on the spams. And I'm very surprised that Torne rattles off those shots before Adam S goes for the tap. Very easy to get complacent on as a team here on Ancient because it's so easy to get onto that B bomb site. But for all the same reasons, it's so hard to hold on to it after you've got that bomb down. And we've seen the victims of that a few times now. It's a good start with a boost over the top. M4 and P250 will trade back. Things getting messy.
Oh?
And the Tech 9 playing the trigger discipline. He's seen the AWP in the red room.
Wow.
This is huge, but I'm not sure he gets away with both here. Yeah. Oh. No, he hasn't reloaded. He hasn't got the bullets. What is going on?
P250's out.
Oh,
he buys enough time for Woody, but there's a flank there. Lucan, he's the one that's going to be
Oh my god. This is South American Counter-Strike for us. This is what we signed up for.
That's meant to be a trigger discipline play that also doesn't work.
Pretty much. Over Tech 9.
That's exactly what I signed up for. And ODDIK, they've signed up for a B-side push. Couple of shots being exchanged, but look at this. Bodies dropping like decoys. As ODDIK have won all but one duel.
They could justify it. It's penultimate round of the half, and you have got a couple of players with more than enough to reinvest. So there's no reason not to send sort of 1 or 2 feelers out, but Case Locks falls to the AWP at range. Yeah, they don't want to pressure it any further.
ODDIK's already maintained a pretty good half. And they've loved playing with this faster pacing. It's always worked out for them, but maybe not this time. Wazapeak's done so much damage. Knight eventually does get something for their troubles. And it's a 3-on-3. AWP rotating in from Temple, trying to push past the Molotov, takes a couple ticks of the flame. Woody knows exactly where he is and will punish him immediately. Max and Lucan, MP9 and M4 combo. Lucan's trying to push through the smoke. He's going to have the perfect timing here. Unfortunately, he's going to be watched by 3 barrels. Knight failed to spray. Can Lucan do more? Absolutely not, as Torne has something to say about it. ODDIK, a solid start on the T side.
Any you South American fans experiencing power outages, probably my fault as well.
Yep.
So, yeah.
You're out there cutting the power lines, unplugging the Ethernet cords. It's all MNJ. Oh, look at this, though. Dooley's kind of caught out of position, but still successful for 2. Responsive Swift, however, from 9Z, and it's going to be brought down to just 3 members apiece. Smoke set up for long enough that the bomb shouldn't have any troubles going down. But as soon as they fade, there will be chaos.
Well, as the dust settles, we go into the 3v3. Lucan stuck behind the site. His teammates have got good post-plant positions. And Max, look at where he is. He's in cube with a molly. He's going to go for the molly, the bomb strat. And Woody is going to regret deploying that smoke as early as he has into cave. Because in the next few moments, he's going to realize what it could have been a whole lot more useful for. Lucan says, don't worry about it. I'll take matters into my own hands. Pops 4 heads.
Max being the only one on 9Z that's still holding on to that MAC-10. Everybody else looking good with the upgraded rifles. ODDIK. Already have a player pushing forward into middle. Lucan gets a second win here, though. Gets a chance to refrag his teammate. Adam S trying to get a little dirty here towards ramp. Uh-oh. He's going to be tunnel with vision and on a CT player. He's not going to expect the cave push. Yeah, he doesn't. Knight puts Adam S into the ground. And it's quickly a 2-on-3, so 9Z might quickly be out of the picture once more, but Owasso Peak has something else to say about it. Oh, good timing.
Oh, wow. He still has a little bit more to say as well. A quick tap on the bomb, and he's going to be forced out off the back of it. And in a minute to tick, he's got his teammates to come and join him.
From Hank. Oh, they try and fade the smoke, but they're receiving bullets left and right. That buy ends up working out for them really well. Hank, of course, doing all of the heavy lifting there, but a 1v3. Bomb in control. Still a sliver of a chance, but Martinez is going to have to be really quick on his feet to make this possible.
He doesn't want it. He doesn't want it because you've said, maybe you shouldn't go for it. This is you. This is your fault.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I do feel like you didn't have faith in the Dragon Ball effect, though, right? You didn't. Did you raise your hands up and try and channel? You gotta lend him your energy. I know you weren't out here raising your hands, so can't blame me.
I don't know what this guy's on about. Dragon Balls? I don't know.
Come on.
Big start. He's trying to get aggressive.
Oh, wow.
Pank follows up. A lot of damage inflicted through this smoke, but somehow we end up with a 3v3. And a bit of room out onto the B site as well. Turning here in cave, but not for much longer. Howso Pig wakes up and puts himself even with a double kill in this round. Adam S takes contact in Cheetah. A tickle of damage dealt, and he won't press it any further. It might be time for ODDIK to just kind of pull away from this as case locks inevitably will go down in the next couple of seconds. And yeah, that's exactly the cue for the AWP to go and save. 9Z have somehow taken control of their opponent's map pick in the most unlikely of fashions after being 8-4 down at the half. Woody's still got to fight for survival. It looks like he'll get away with this sniper. Job's not done yet. Woody on the angle, the solo anchor of the A bomb site.
Have to go big.
Have not really touched this A site. That is such an unfortunate miss. I talked about the advantage that the Shadow gives a little bit earlier. This time it really lets him down. He sees the Shadow. He gets excited, pulls the trigger a little too early. Smoke in place. Tony's going to walk that from Tornay. Denies the plant. Oh no, this is all falling apart.
Yeah, what a recovery there from Tornay, but Lucan is going to bring it down to just 2 members once more. This is a tug of war that has not been decided yet. And the weaponry slightly favoring 9Z. Just looking away, Martinez misses a shot. That is a crucial shot to be missing. Now both players chip down to about half health. That M4 becomes so much more potent. He does have to watch out. There it is. Pank finds the head. And Lucan's looking all the way around. Pack knows that he doesn't need to pull the trigger. He doesn't need to show himself until he hears that glorious audio cue from the bomb.
Seconds. Lucan
Doesn't
needs to force the issue. It's just not going to happen. ODDIK somehow recover even after. He tips the scales in his team's favour, and that's enough to rock the vote. Running it down in the beast. Sorry, the A site again. This time, the entry will once again go their way. Ooh.
9Z taking a page out of ODDIK's book. Having a faster pace. But it's all about what they do after they get on the bomb site, Josh. That has been the sticking point. Need to get the bomb down soon. Molotov is certainly going to help that case. Can't really push past it real quick. Waiting for the smoke to subside before they start to materialize a 3v3 retake. Lucan's a little bit low on health, so he might be the weak link in this push. And he tries to go forward to find one. No, Lucan lets his teammate die there because he turns away at a wrong time. Max, a 1v3, trying to isolate duels, but he's found by Knight, and ODDIK is back to the lead that they once inculcated. All the bells and whistles on their team. A-side might be on the agenda. Lucan finds a really big kill. Woody not quite hitting all the shots with his AWP. Tries to go forward, misses again. That's a crucial miss to have at a time like this. But Caselox is trying to make up for his teammates' failures. Looking there to make sure that they don't get punished anywhere from Donut.
The pathing on the entry was perfect for us. They've evaded the sightline from CT, and Lucan has that pincer in Donut. Gives them all the coverage. HouseOPeek's hit a beautiful shot, and that's it. It's enough for ODDIK to just pull the plug. We'll certainly expect this as a possibility. There's the contact. He'll drop another one. Methodically giving up room in exchange for time on that clock. And with 40 seconds, Max has drawn first blood with a huge spam.
Caselox tries to hit some shots. Pank doing a decent job before he falters. But Torny and Woody, there's a big decision to make here. Molotov's actually good. Does a fair chunk of damage. But it's all down to the shoulders of Woody again. That's one. Manages to isolate the ramp fight, but Adam S knows exactly where he is. That information is asymmetrical. Switching over to the AK-47. Adam S is tucked into the corner. Has to peek out, and there it is. Easy does it. 9Z.
Not a single helmet in sight. It's not going to matter against the AKs, but it does just show how weak those finances really are. No kits either, so want to get this one done before a fuse gets put on the round.
Everyone's starting to go towards middle. Trying to group up your resources. Makes a lot of sense when you don't have a whole lot of HP. Trying to isolate. Oh, Max. Great 180 to find Knight. But the rest of the players are slowly starting to creep up into Red Room. There is one player with his finger on the pulse, though. If they can catch him out, suddenly they've got so much access all across the map.
Oh, he sees a shadow.
Yeah, he has a very good idea where they're going. Is he going to follow them? If he plays this right, he might be able to find two players as freebies. He's already made the calls as well. They're following them in hot pursuit. Max not going to expect what's coming. Shot to the side of the head, and now they're going to start to feel a bit more aware. WazOPeek, a great Molotov, which will buy them much needed time to start setting up on the A site, but the HP is not doing them any favors.
Oh no, missed AWP shot at a bad time as well. That tiptoe through Red Room actually took out the only player with a full head of health. Everybody else so low on health. But this becomes a problem. Turney takes one, traded back out. It all falls onto HouseOPeek. And yeah, not going to happen. Bites off a little bit more than he can chew there. There's just too many to deal with. ODDIK are going to make it 12.
Have to fork over the T side. I feel like ODDIK's going to be so much better once they get back into the aggression. And I think 9Z's best chances were to end it right there, but they didn't. Gets really messy on middle. Max is able to put down Caselox, but Horny is happy to return the favor. Knight putting a few pot shots into the wall, but doesn't find any casualties. Lucan sees the player coming close up. Woody is able to find Adam S on the fadeaway, but Lucan's happy.
Space to stretch their legs. He'll call over for Martinez to come and join him. That bomb on his back. Lucan, massive kill. It's now going to tip the scales in their favor. He's very aware that off for the back of that contact, and he's going to try and work his way up, and he does. Straight into the wading crosshair of the AK-47. Pank's now got to try and clutch. And again, they're all low, so this feels viable. It's not a round that he's going to save in. Surely it's overtime. But a tough task on his hands. And one
unfortunately,
yeah, he doesn't want it. Adam S opting for a MAC-10 here in OT. Have more than enough money for anything else. But he wants to be that commanding figure. He wants to lead the charge. Yeah,
yes,
full
it
W.
does.
There you go. Massive entry.
And they know where Pank is. They'll be able to double down on him very quickly. Woody, so many times you see him in these awkward spots where he's left alone. And although the kill counter for Woody is just fine, like he's actually fragging out hard, right? Like he's going 18 and 12. Unfortunately, when the camera's been on him in some big pressure scenarios where he needs to hit the shots early in those rounds, or maybe on the closers, maybe on the clutches, it's not been happening. 9Z wanting to squeeze everything out of this T side. Nine-Z this time around will be stopped in their tracks if they try to push past middle. Lucan, unfortunately for him, goes on a little solo adventure and will be punished for it. But in the meantime, 9Z have tons of access to A. They only really have to go past the first donut player who's going to try and creep past the smoke. Woody, you've got to be hitting your shots now. There it is. That's exactly what we want to see. Max goes down. And the way this smoke is positioned kind of actually makes it awkward for the T's to get closer. They still have to clear out the back of it. Molotov is going to stop them further. And it's a 5v3 with HP missing on both sides.
Yeah, once Household got that sight line over the top of it, he was then able to relay the information that no one's lingering on the other side, but took a little while to get him there. T&Cs holding CT, won't realise that there's one touch so close in the corner as Adam S takes contact. C4 will go down, but it falls all onto the shoulders of the Orc. 1v5, this would be a magical clutch that needs to come through. It's a beautiful shot for the first, flicks for the second.
No way!
Tech9 takes a trifecta, almost finds all five, but has to stop at the quad. As 90, other than the flash over the top, which doesn't really mean anything. Truly keeping 9Z guessing. It's a good molly. It's going to force Lucan out into the open. I think he's done well to go 1-for-1 there. A 4-on-4, 45 seconds.
Fake. Oh no, that audio cue from the Molotov. Just one tick will be enough for them to be locked in, but he's gonna hold his nerve. In fact, the bomb gets dropped and he's good for a double. Keeps him lingering for longer, playing ring around the Rosie, right into Martinez's trap. And Tournay somehow still keeping it alive. No, Martinez finds the kill, and that's it.
They're going to fall on deaf ears. ODDIK pressure early, so won't be a victim of it. He's looking for the timing. He works his way forward. He should actually get it. Caught with util in hand. It's going to be Adam S.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you don't live in that. Peak. No, did not this time. Case locks. Puts them in the ground without a sound. Lucan and Martinez. Yeah, pretty much nothing they can do. Martinez is just trying to make sure that that AWP can get the hell out of there. But even that would be a luxury. One that he simply can't afford with Pank waiting for him around the corner. ODDIK playing on to dear life.
This is brilliant from ODDIK, though. Anticipating that 9Z have gone heavy on the mid presence again. Woody just pushes all the way out. He's going to be here in Temple. And they are completely unaware. Look at this, Max. Playing behind the boxes. Woody's going to catch him out in the rotation. Bit of trigger discipline would have gone a long way there. But he ends up with both anyway. Oh. And there's a third one coming. Won't be able to take it.
Oh, Max is everything. He's got to play this perfectly. He knows he needs to get more than one, and he does it! A little bit of of extra damage. Adam has to get 4, and 9Z, it looked like they were out of it, but they've held on. Not only that, they've got the advantage, and Martinez is 1 bullet away from stealing ODDIK's map pick. The tripwire set up. There's the body. Buys himself some more time. Now Knight has information on both.
No.
There's the headshot. And that miss could have been everything. Trying to jump across again. Knight might be making it possible.
What?
No chance for Martinez. And I can't believe that back and forth results in ODDIK persevering. This could actually be totally unprecedented. As the smoke starts to fade, it's all about who can pull the trigger first. Max waiting inside it, fumbles his worst, but
big.
It's enough of a decoy for Lucan to make it work. Molotov deployed, trying to rush through it, not gonna work, buddy. Lucan puts him right into the ground. A 3K for Lucan so far, but eventually torn apart by Torney. Woody and Torney trying to make it work. The first of them already down. WildCard and Martinez tag team up to find 9Z their first round on the CT.
Yeah, he was just able to draw damage. It was a good job. There was that second prong there. Run boost into middle. Boost over the top of this smoke. Does Lucan anticipate it? The answer is no, as Adam S will go 1 for 1, but jumps up a little too high. Exposes himself over the cloud. 4v4. 30 seconds expended. 9Z going to start to rotate over towards B. This is the wrong play. ODDIK start to work their way up main, maybe? I mean, they're still taking their time with this.
Good collection there from Pank. But WildCard's watching for him. A stray bullet would have ended his life right there. ODDIK have a pretty big responsibility on their shoulders here, Josh. They need to make this terrorist side work. The 17th on the cusp for 9Z is really bad news. But based on the fact that ODDIK's going to the B site, it is actually the right bomb site to be hitting. All healthy players on 9Z though, so it's going to be difficult to crack. A little bit staggered on the push means that they've got enough time for rotations. WildCard's just making sure no one pushes through from cave. There's reinforcements coming in from CT spawn. WildCard can peek right out. It could be a double.
Oh, it's massive.
A triple for him. Lucan helps out a bit in there, but the heavy lifting being done by Wazo.
This map is in the palm of their hands. Their opponent's pick. And as the underdogs, I mean, I'm not going to say they've made light work of it. They've really made a mess here on Ancient. But they're allowed to make a mess as long as they swing it their way. 2 for 2 on the bomb site. Entry, but Adam S returns the favor. Max elsewhere will close it out. And 9Z have a flawless half. They go 18 of 15, and they now need just 1 of the next 3. I don't want to add to that tally any further. Woody will draw first blood, but his case locks drops. This is going to be their cue to get out onto the A site, and Turney will be the one called upon to hold this fort.
That kill is big. Torn is the only thing that is keeping them relevant here on the A bomb side. Adam S, though, falls as well. And Torny might be extending play, maybe not for long, because Max steps in. Pank needs to find a double, tries to keep spraying forward. Martinez doesn't expect Pank to just creep through the smoke, and ODDIK has been kept alive via a 1v2 clutch.
Because for that to happen twice now, it makes me think, like, is he tapping S as he's pressing mouse 1, or something that's kind of leading to that slight inaccuracy? Oh, it's a huge
Whatever
kill.
the case may be, ODDIK has still managed to recover. And that's all that's going to matter in the grand scheme of things. Look at this, though. The T side wanting to become a little bit more relevant on the B side. First kill found by Lucan, but they still have to worry about Pank. They eventually take care of the flank, and they're doing a little bit more, but Martinez and Max have so little HP. 24 seconds, and one commits to the ball. Molotov doesn't get Max out of position.
Oh.
In fact, he's still going to be living to tell the tale, living to keep fighting. Martinez, that's the kill, and 9Z could be ending it right here, unless Woody can make this clutch happen, but this is a deadly crossfire, one that's really hard to break apart. You've got to pull out the pistol at this point, and he does exactly that. One to the dome. Martinez is down. Does ODDIK extend play? Nade doesn't quite connect on Max. He's going to want to sneak out, but the 5-7 is the perfect weapon to have, and ODDIK won't be going down yet. They will continue to fight and put 9Z to the grindstone. Last chance for 9Z unless they want to get back on the horse. Flashbang's really good. Knight and Luke can do some good work, but Pack's response is even better. Martinez, this time that plastic cop's going to work and catch one on the retreat. But when the dust settles, it is a 2v3. Pressure on 9Z. ODDIK refuse to let go of their own map pick. Fingers getting bloodied, but as they cling onto the map, despite the broken bones and the blood circulation being cut off, their grip won't seize. But Martinez might want to cut those fingers off. That's one kill. He's done so much more before. How does he get past here?
I don't know.
The bomb. Not really the weapon you have, but the timer is gonna favor 9Z.
Strap yourselves in, folks, because it doesn't look like either of these teams are giving up anytime soon. Jump up on top of the shelf. Martinez doesn't see the M4 poking over. The flames will obscure his vision. Adam S at least able to find an entry elsewhere. Put things into a 4-on-4, but 9Z have a little bit more space to work with here. As I say that, ODDIK just walk out onto A for free. Nobody's here to deny it. Launch should come in the next couple of seconds. That's actually 9Z out, sorry, onto this A site. C4 peeping away. Also's in a good position. Oh, big kill.
Box. Lucan gets a kill of his own. Woody still trying to make it work. Quick tap on the bomb, but the timer is simply not doing them any favors. Despite all the kills being secured, that round is not going to come through as there's simply not enough time on the defuse.
Slam dunk on the case locks almost does max damage. Martinez boosted up. Oh. Lands something. It's not lethal. Knight will take one back, would he? A victim, but they'll still end up with a man advantage. The HG's going to follow up for a little bit of damage as well.
ODDIK are low enough that those duels are going to be a little bit easier to win. Only one truly healthy player here, and he's all the way in the back. Not sure when Torna is going to activate, but there's still one more trump card that is inside the site. Oh no, Martinez, that is an unbelievable shot to keep them relevant. Torna caught, and 9Z able to keep fighting.
Might have a trick up their sleeve. There might be someone coming in from behind. Anticipates it. Even though he's not posted on the angle, he's very, very ready to take that flick. Case locks will make sure that ODDIK don't come up empty-handed here. In the first half of OT3, he finds himself a double in mid. Upgrades to the AK. The M4 out of cave's able to take one more. Woody's AWP doesn't connect. It shouldn't matter in the 2v5.
ODDIK's strategy has always just been to keep their heads just above the water and then worry about the fine details later. And that's going to be the theme of the end of this half as well. Woody's getting ready to dig a knife into the back of Martinez. I mean, I know he's got kills, but a bit non-negotiable. ODDIK, 19th round on the board.
One goes in, and he's very aware there could be one close red. Oh, what a reaction shot. That's beautiful.
Peak might be able to find a good timing here, though. But he does let one player cross. 9Z. His case locks just keep going forward. Yes, he does. Waso Peak is waiting. Now they've got a bit of a two-pronged approach here in A site. Waso still has to worry about one more member behind them, though. Pank quickly brings the ball back in their favor. Knight is doing some heavy lifting. Lukin, however, makes sure that Martinez still has an honest shot back at it. ODDIK quick to drop the smoke. So they will be able to buy some time before Martinez can get up to his dirty work. Problem is that in positions like this, it's just really hard to make that AWP work. He needs to get closer. He needs to start fishing them out of angles. And there's the audio cue from the scope. Big Box player has now communicated the info. Someone needs to keep an eye on things. Really good shot from Martinez. Does he expect the second prong to be behind Big Box? He doesn't. Not convinced enough. And Woody swings out late, puts him into the ground. And ODDIK
to close this out without the need for further rounds.
If I'm a betting man, I'm thinking this goes to another overtime. But maybe Martinez can now start being a little bit more consistent. Okay, 1 out of 2, not bad. But there it is, Adam S. Before the retake even starts, he's able to pin the numbers down to just 3. And ODDIK know that they're in pole position to close this one out. Waso Peak, though, coming out of the smoke, not precedented. Knight to go down. Woody and Pank have so much work to do, and Pank's going to be the first point of contact as they start moving forward. Woody wants to serve as a distraction. Head spotted. Pank finds one. Now Woody needs to activate. Switches over to the AK-47. It's a 2v2 with the timer ticking down. The CTs need to make a move. Woody starts to spray down, but now they can narrow him down behind the Big Box, and Pank dies, but there is still so much time that they need to spend in just trying to get this bomb defused. Thankfully, a kit being available means the 9Z will inch just ahead. ODDIK, a big chance at holding the line, fumbled.
Been inherently given it in many of these scenarios. 9Z, in a far more passive approach. Max will draw first blood. Numbers in their favor. He doesn't take too much damage in the process. Smoke's going to go down and won't peak until it blooms. Send spams back the other way through the wood. Neither really connecting. Pank turns the flash, gets back on the angle. He'll lose his life as well. This one.
What a push from 9Z. Beautiful.
Yeah, this is brilliant.
3-man push works out perfectly. Woody, so many responsibilities have been on him so many times, but you can't blame him for this one. An extended game now finally about to come to an end. The bomb simply too far away. Woody, with 40 points of health, would have to get all the way to the bomb and find 3 kills in the process. And I don't think Martinez is letting that happen. 9Z will have the last laugh. What a game.
Yeah, that last game had us complimenting our, contemplating our careers, looking at business ideas in the break as we are right back into the action. Minute 30 on this clock, and we've already seen 3 casualties. As the Glocks have taken space here on ramp, but at what cost? I think if they could go back in time, take their players back and give ramp up, they'd be happy to do so. They've done it anyway. They funnel back in towards the A side of things. Case locked. The massive kill puts it back into a 4-on-2. ODDIK, whilst they'll be disappointed they weren't able to close out their map pick, they'll be happy to get off to a good start here on Nuke. Adam S, the only one that stands in their way. 1v3, he's got the bomb, he's got a bit of time. He's got his work cut out for him here.
A reasonable chance, though. Pissed around is definitely a little bit easier in clutch scenarios. Oh, he actually has a really good position here. If he can maybe get the drop on one player, could be able to at least isolate this particular duel. But there's so much time being wasted in this whole process. He's going to quickly try and double book it down to the bottom bomb site. Adam just wants to try and get this bomb planted. but they're already in position. Quick tap, door opens up. Yep. Unfortunately, sandwiched in between three. He has to commit to the bomb because he doesn't want to run out of time and die after it. ODDIK, first on the board.
Not too much to work with here for 9Z. They are going to go for a force, but there won't be a whole lot of weight behind it. It's the Tech-9s in play. Case locks preemptively going to get down this vent. Massive entry out of Lucan's Tech-9. As Tierney on top of the hearts, only good for one. These Tech-9s doing a lot of lifting. As the Mac-10 will try and charge down. RMS, bold. And it's enough. 9Z, just turn it right round. And a bit of BM at the end there with the body spams. Really doesn't feel like there's a lot of weight behind this purchase, but he needs to find some success. And there is a fair bit of success. My God. A shot to open things up.
Oh, that's really good from Pank as well. 2 players down. ODDIK looking to return the favor. Pay back in kind. Bottom bomb site we go. 9Z slowly inching closer. Oh, it gets really sloppy from Martinez. And why is he not getting any support? He's just all over the place from all these riflers from 9Z. Lucan left in a 1v3. There's right behind him. Scout rifle haven't been picked up. And he's low enough that he might be a single shot away from certain death. Lucan's chances aren't nigh impossible. Quick tap. Waiting for the doors to open up. That's one shot. Okay. The hedges have been trimmed a little bit more. Chances starting to increase. Narrows down the position of one of the players. Nade and Molly combo to chase Knight. I love that. Bounces the nade off to work in tandem with the Molotov. But now the time's going to start to play against him. And that's the big issue. Fully commits to the bomb. But he's got way more work to do.
Woody's just been completely silent throughout all of this as well, so just remains completely hidden.
No
but Lucan
way.
still dispatches of him. One bullet onto the scout to do the job. He's got all the leverage, and he's able to maneuver a 1 versus 4 clutch.
And 9Z, after having interrupted what looked like a good start for ODDIK, they'll rely on a clutch to keep pushing forward. 2 rounds collected. And based on the buy-up from ODDIK in this round, this could potentially be extended further. Adam S looking to take contact and ramp. He got a little bit of support as well. Double swings, not the best at that range, but the MP9 still finds a victim. Underhand flashbang, and Martinez down. Hank with 2, but eventually caught by Lucan, which leaves Torne alone.
One v 2. A bit of damage dealt here, considering there wasn't too much invested in this round, but there's his work cut out for him with the 5.7 against the 2 rifles. No silver linings here either. Neither of them are low, but one has got his back turned. And Tony's able to play the trigger discipline. If he can find this kill, he'll upgrade into the rifle. Another fair 1v1. Information on Lucan's position. And the Superstars called upon once again to keep their heads above water. And he cannot do it twice in a row. Turney returns the favor and a clutch that I was really just counting him out of.
As long as a redemption can happen, no harm, no foul. 9Z's map pick though, so it's going to be difficult. No, case locks, caught out. Ooh. Utility in his hands and access to B site is gained. Quick rotations about to come through. 2 flares already postured to come from ramp. Woody makes that M4 worth. And just that little bit of staggering from 9Z's space means that they don't really have access to the site yet. Worried about the flank.
No deal with it though. 9Z breaking too much of a sweat after an awkward round lost in the last. Woody up on top of the rafters. He's got support from the MP9, but at that kind of range, it would be difficult to have an impact. With 30 seconds left, 9Z do need to pull the trigger on this. How so? Has the advantage on the angle. Woody can't adjust quick enough. Does land the dink, but it's not lethal for Pank and Turney. It's time to just fall away. give this round up. It's going to be a third on the board for 9Z, who snatched right back.
ODDIK. Oh no. Doesn't matter if they've got the weapons. It's just a beautiful spray down from Lucan. Both players fumbling. Big fumble from Caselox and 90. That leaves them out in the open. They succumb to the wounds from a single spray. And this is a completely different version of ODDIK that we're seeing now. Not what we saw in the semifinals. Not what we saw towards the start of Ancient. This is one that no longer has the same level of steam.
Yeah, I don't want to say they're already looking defeated, but it is feeling really tough here for ODDIK, isn't it? They need more out of their CT side. Realistically, they need to take the next 4 and give us a 6-6 half.
A little bit of fast space taking coming out from 9Z, where they just quickly try and get space and hut. This will be a much faster play than we've anticipated. It's a really good position for the MP9, though. Tornado rains bullets down, and you'll make it hell for them. Might be a weak buy, but it doesn't have to be weak resistance. It's on the chopping block, but Max refuses to kneel. 4v3.
Be a big round for ODDIK to win. Wasn't expecting this one to go their way with the buy that they had in hand, but they're somewhat making it work. That one will kick them to the curb. Put it back to a 3v3. Still at the deficit with the SMGs against the rifles as well. Lights up on top of the heart. He has got support on the site with him. That is in the form of Turnick. Really important that they get the right timing hit. He will walk out a heart. Yeah, the timing gets the better of them. AK will be crunched in from both sides. Will only find the single. Leaves Woody by himself. Wildly out of position and wildly outgunned. The 1v2 just feels like an impossibility.
So sad because it started off so well, but now Woody's just going to throw himself at it. His body won't even get a chance to drop to the ground. Just
okay. He's down the vent. Oh my god.
He has navigated with the only solution he could have found. Okay, Pank's gone, and now he's going to be joining the rest of his comrades. But before that, he'll be landing a bullet into Caselox. I think Caselox has no idea how they got there. Unbelievable showing here from 9Z.
Doing some serious work right here on Nuke. This competitive back and forth that we had on Ancient is just no longer here. Oh my god.
9Z looking to end this with a monster T side. 0 margin of error is going to be remaining for ODDIK if they can't pull this one together. Is 3 rounds too much? Do 9Z treat that as a luxury that they don't want ODDIK to have? Really good footwork from Pank there to at least get a double before he dies, but that might not be enough. Tornate, his skill is going to bring it to the 1v2. Adam S, if he gets the 1v2, that would be brutal, but 12 seconds to go. Needs to quickly commit to the bomb, pulls it out, taps the bomb, tries to spray, but ODDIK barely cling on with 3 rounds at the end of the first half of regulation. This T side needs to be better than anything ODDIK have ever played.
Okay, well, a decent start. Caselox pops ahead with a Glock out of mess, up the ladder. Ugh. Was hoping to catch a timing and then looking the other way. Will not be afforded. How so? Aggressive hit. into the heart. Bad timing. Lucan takes one elsewhere. Make that 2. Actually pulls it back into a 3-on-3. After a really awkward start. It's the man that's pushed himself above 20 kills in only 13 rounds. The lid on things. Good recovery by Woody. ADAMS now has a tall task on his shoulders. Has found the first 2 more. And needed. He seems to have the right idea.
Oh, not like this. I mean, I can't believe he still has a chance. If that pistol isn't a little bit more, if it's only a bit better, if he just labors that spray a little bit less.
Instead, Barebones back to basics towards this A site. Houseo's taking contact with the 5-7, but only with 1. He won't realize that 4 linger around the corner. And his second prod, it'll bite off a little bit more than he can chew, but 1-for-1 not too shabby. HG's going to follow up and trade it back out. So a 3v3. The Knight's still very low. This could go
the timing is so
wrong.
good. And Max is still making that deagle work. ADAMS has a scout rifle, and both of them are within one-shot territory for that. Even the deagle's going to be good enough, actually. If he plays this right, this could be the round that breaks the camel's back. ODDIK looking for the smoke. Doesn't hit the right player. And they will hang on to this round by the skin of their teeth. So low. Kills and 8 deaths. But I want to see if that's actually replicable on the CT side, because I know that even though T&Cs have had a monstrous lead, Lucan was powering most of that. If he suddenly quiets down, if he stops, then somebody else is going to have to pick up the slack, right? But it does feel like a stellar day for Lucan.
Ooh.
Nearly gets another flight going, but case locks faster to the trigger. And B site's on the menu. Maybe not. Waiting outside A site.
20 seconds, they're cutting this really fine. This is dangerous. This is really dangerous. Houseo's just found himself a kill. Max followed up.
There's 2 players in the back of the site.
Oh, they've dealt with it. The P250 has been hurt as well, but if he lands a headshot, then maybe there's a world. ODDIK just about squeezed through, but that one comes way too close.
The narrative's kind of flipped this time around. It's just Lucan that's been doing the heavy lifting, but will that continue to be the trend? ADAMS all the way in the back of the garage acts as the second prong for the crossfire. Knight will put him down eventually. Max, though, doesn't allow. No! Tornate somehow gets past the smoke. And in an unlikely scenario, it's still a 3v3, but beautiful peek from Lucan. Wants to try and quickly navigate around. Knight nearly fumbles his words, and that could have been really bad. A 2-on-2. The delicate dance between these two teams continues. Martinez headshot it. In a very unlikely scenario, ODDIK are still somehow poised to take this one.
T&Cs, however, have another chance at this for House. So this time round, being the one called upon to pull off this 1 versus 2. Turney's low. Knight just tucked up behind the silo, but on top of the rafters. This is going to be really difficult for House of Peak to isolate these fights. And I thought he was teed up for the first, to be honest, but stagnant behind the secret smoke and starting to get boxed in here as well. Tierney's found an important kill. That's going to be a big HE. It's going to do massive damage.
Really good timing. He waits for the waits for the smoke to fade because he knows they're huddling up close to it together. ADAMS eventually has to take a fight though, right? Can't just rely on nades forever. A kill's not bad, but his teammates are going to have to pick up the slack. Lucan, come on. We know what you're made of. Let's see it happen. Great first half. Does he keep that composure in the second? Great headshot on the vertical angle. And as the bomb is planted, he's just trying to buy more time for the Sharks to circle in. Missing HP on the T's makes this clutch a little bit easier. 2v3 brought down to just 2. They're looking for the bomb to try and bait out these T's into the open, take these fights. There it is. Martinez had to activate, and he's going to do exactly that. Creeping out from the left, both shots being struck by Martinez. And it's finally high time that Martinez has stepped up and made himself and his team relevant.
Draws that attention away, and by the time they're able to trade him, they're not really able to get themselves into better post-plant positions. So Cavalry rocks up, dishes out the damage. Good start here with the 2-for-2 trade. Lucan, the back of the bomb site, still trying to hold this one down. Massive headshot. Woody with a MAC-10.
As he's getting ready to punch those numbers in, they're going to be punching the living daylights out of Woody. Has been spotted. Come on, Lucan, he was right there. This isn't even a case of 4-3.
Oh, this is ridiculous. He's reloaded as well. He's actually going to get shot in the back of the head. What is going on with that?
Unbelievable. There is no way.
A very thin margin, a very fragile situation they still find themselves in. Good molly from Woody. It takes a lot of damage, but we'll draw first blood onto Adam S.
A quick hit from Lucan will be met with sheer force. Bullets fly in his general direction and hit him a couple times. But there's 3 players that can quickly mobilize outside. Max with a kill. Nighty goes down. Or rather, case locks. But the duels have been 1-1 so far. Double peek is going to be successful, and that leaves Lucan in the cage with Torney. Bombs dropped out in the open. Smoke dissipates. It's all about who sees the other first. Lucan's got a slight advantage as he's just holding the line. Bomb collected, heads found, and it's Lucan once again that is spearheading. 4 players coming his way. Lucan needs to stand strong. He needs to call in the reinforcement soon, though. Spray down successful, but he might only be good for 1. Chips some damage before he dies. Sets up the stage for the rest of 9Z to mobilize. But there's still a lot more work to be done. Kingslock spotted. Double peek at the ready. 2 for 2, being won out by the CTs. And Pank has to do so much. 35 seconds. And an instant shot from Wazopeak keeps 9Z's lead cemented. ODDIK.
They tuck behind one of his teammates, and when they fall, he'll pick up their pistol, but it's just not the way you want to be going into a round like this, do you? Could all fall apart for them here. Could be the end of the line for ODDIK in their grand finals campaign.
I mean, I'm still hopeful the Tech-9's paid dividends. That's 1 kill found. Bottom bomb site we go. This could be the beginning of the end. Or it could be another recovery. Can we replicate Ancient? ODDIK don't have the best circumstances to make it happen, but they still could. You never want to be the first to die here. Numbers slowly whittling, but the time's ticking down as well. Who's going to succumb to their wounds first? CT starting to line up the scoreboard. Case locks and Tornay, all to do, nothing to do it with. The Tech-9 still fighting back. Someone needs to get on the bomb, and it's going to have to be Max. There's simply no way to get them off the bomb, and that is how 9Z have booked their ticket to the Thunderpick World Championships closed qualifier.